So if she lasts a while, she's gonna be delicious to watch because she is a devil. She's the greatest kind of devil.
I hope to stir things up a little bit.
She's charming, she's attractive, but she is competitive. The big decision is gonna be, does she go with men or women, or does she say neither? I'm just gonna cherry pick the people I think are best. Joaquin is a player to be reckoned with. He's a young, good-looking, smart guy, but he is a white-collar type, and he doesn't mind owning that.
I'm an egocentric type of person, it's just my personality, my way or the highway.
He does like calling the shots, but he's got this charm, and he's a bit of a player with the ladies, so it can either work really well for him, or, another alpha male could see him and say, I gotta get rid of you. I love Shireen. Shireen is super smart. She's created some projects at Google and Yahoo that we all use.
I used to work at Google and I ran Google Calendar. Now I work at Yahoo, I run Yahoo Answers.
Shireen's biggest thing is gonna be her intensity.
No! I do feel like I'm always an underdog. For me, it's nothing or it's everything.
Shireen's goal coming into the show was, can I scale my intensity back? Because I'm used to being like this, and I need to be like this.
My name is Tyler Fredrickson. I most recently worked at the largest Hollywood agency in the business, at CAA.
I think Tyler's gonna have a hard time in this game because I don't know how well he blends. I always feel like Tyler wants you to invite him to be in the club. And that's a tough point of view to have on Survivor because nobody's gonna invite you into their club. You gotta bring them into your club. Carolyn, I think, is gonna surprise a lot of people. She's someone I think you could underestimate if you just look at her, but she's a really savvy player. I think Carolyn has that East Coast street sense about her.
I'm gonna wanna go off on somebody, and then I'm gonna have to bite down hard, because then you gotta go back to camp and be like, hey!
Max is a student of Survivor and a teacher of Survivor. He actually taught a college course.
A class called The Tribe Has Spoken, Surviving TV's New Reality.
I'm not sure if Max is as arrogant as he appears, or if he wants you to think he's as arrogant as he appears. I like Max because he is smart and he gets the game. Doesn't mean he'll win, but he could. I love Mike the minute he walked in. He's from Texas. He works in oil. He earns it. But there's a lot of hustle in Mike.
That's what's at stake for me here. To come out here and play harder than anyone else has ever played before. Because I have been a fan of this show for such a long time.
I hope he doesn't play too hard out of the gate because he's the guy that can be a slow burn. Sierra is a dark horse. Sierra is this tall, beautiful woman. If she said, well, I'm a model, you'd say, yeah, I figured. And then you find out she's a pro barrel racer. She rides horses.
Being a 3-time national champion, I do really well. If I wasn't doing well, I couldn't do it. It's too expensive.
I don't know how she's gonna blend. That's the big question with Sierra. If she does, she could be in there for a while. Dan, I think, is gonna have a hard time. Part of it will be because of his age, and it's an unfortunate obstacle that you face on Survivor that you can't do a damn thing about. But I also think Dan puts on a bit, and it's fun to watch, but I don't know how long it can last.
Slancha. I'm the fat, ugly, bald guy with a stupid beard, but I am way smarter than I look.
I love Lindsay. I love her story. This is a woman who has been working in one way or another, whether she was getting paid or not, since she was a little kid. And she's a single mom still getting it done.
I have a 3-year-old. She's awesome. She's my whole life. I have her name on my hand.
People are gonna say, oh, why all the tats? To me, it's what makes her more attractive. The confidence to say, I've been through enough in my young life to know that I am who I am. And I like this. Lindsay would be an amazing winner. I love Rodney. He's got a lot of hustler in him. But at his core, Rodney is a worker. He's a guy that gets it done no matter what. I'm coming home with the bacon at the end of the day, baby. Don't worry about it. There'll be food on the table. That's Rodney. If he can figure out what parts of himself he needs to put into the game, he could be great.
You've seen people from Boston on the show before. Some of them did pretty good, some of them not so good. I may go down as the best person from Boston of all time.
Kelly. I think Kelly's gonna lie coming into the game because of Tony. She doesn't want the cop thing on her back.
I'm probably not gonna be friends with these people when I leave. I'm going for the $1 million. You gotta do what you gotta do.
But Kelly is a smart woman and she's tough. I think Kelly and the blue collar tribe in general are going to be very formidable in this game. Haley is smart enough to get into law school and wants to be a defense attorney. but she's no caller enough to say, I'm getting into this for a different reason.
My passion is to mix up the system or just work against it to change the way that we treat indigent criminal defendants.
So I'm going to get in there and I'm going to break a few rules and I'm going to create some new rules. You combine that with the fact that she's attractive and just a little crazy.
On the inside, I'm kind of like a motorcycle gang dude.
She could be a fun person to watch and she could get to the end. Will has this great backstory where he was literally pumping gas one day.
Me and my wife got pranked at the gas station at Costco from Jay Leno. I was singing Living on a Prayer and she was singing Sweet Dreams. It went viral within like 4 days.
Will is a barrel of laughs. I love Will and I think the audience is going to adore him. Nina is going to have a tough time. Nina has a cochlear implant. She can hear with that in.
I didn't grow up deaf. I didn't lose my hearing until later in life.
But I think the reason Nina's going to have a hard time has nothing to do with her age or her hearing. She talked a lot about, you know, my family back home relies on me. I wasn't sure she had left that world. But one of the absolutes on Survivor is you got to leave your old world behind. Everybody is going to like Joe. Women are going to love Joe. You want to poke him a little and go, come on, you got a dark spot in there. Where is it? He's just a likable guy.
A lot of people call me kind of like MacGyver Joe because I can kind of do anything.
And if Joe goes deep and they let him get to the individual part of the game, he could run it. Jen, full of giggles. Nothing seems to be too serious. She's only 22 and she's already had 3 careers. And Jen, I think, is a little bit like the wolf in sheep's clothing.
I like the idea of starving people and making them do challenges and making them live with people that they hate. I want to kind of see if I can poke at it too, you know?
And if Jen wound up at that final tribal council, I would not be surprised. And I would think, so you were playing us a little bit all along. Vince is a guy that literally has lived on the beach selling coconuts.
A circus-influenced but gypsy-themed coconut vending cart.
And he would tell you the job and he'd say, I'm not as dumb as I look. I sell coconuts for $4.50. They cost me like 50 cents. So Vince has enough white-collar sensibilities in him. He's got the work ethic of a blue-collar to stand out on the beach all day and sell coconuts. And he's just no-collar enough to wear a feather and believe it really looks cool.
I was born for Survivor.
I think the experiment is going to be very interesting. Will they take different approaches? Strategically, how will this game play? I feel great about this season.